Hey, shalom, shalom, manak na waha, borisha Allah walakim la adam call shabawai barucha wakak shoya bashmal shah. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah to preach you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners repent ye for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Cha Kodash, Wa Mashana Kabadim Zakoyim Na, Wa Malakim Shoy Allah Zakoyim Cha Gadawal. Wachasa, Washalamam, Wabarakam, Abachayasha, Gawisha, Shalamam. Right, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahashem in the name of Yahshua, He delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. And this video is going to be entitled, Be Not a Loose Cannon. All right, I just want to go into this saying or a quote by Bruce Lee. It says, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water, put water into a cup, become the water, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water put into a cup, becomes the cup, put water into a teapot, becomes a teapot. Water can flow or creep or drip or crash. Be water, my friend. All right. So basically, be water, and this goes with it goes with fighting, but more specifically life. You see, in the scriptural as well, Bruce Lee was a Jake. All right. So be water, my friend. All right. Being a loose cannon is not being like water. You see, and I wanted to go into that. Basically, if you take we're in a spiritual battle, you see, but just giving the analogy of true physical fighting, like boxing. You don't want to be, it says be formless, shapeless. All right. So if you go in there, of course, everybody has their own form. Everybody has a particular style, you see. But when you first start fighting, when you a little green, you kind of it's like you're overly cautious. You don't have a balance in your caution, and then you're real tense because when you're throwing your punches, you're throwing with a lot of anger. All right, when you throw with a lot of anger, when you fighting angry, you see, then it makes you more tired and you're more susceptible to being knocked out. You see, so you gotta be water. You gotta go with the flow. If this is not working right here, you got to go to the next thing. All right. If this is working, go with what's working. But if it's not working, you might got to change it up, throw a feint here, fake like you was going to do that one move that worked, and then actually throw the punch that you want to throw. So just want to tie this into the lesson because, we have to be, we can't not be circumspect. This is also going into being circumspect, you see. But when you're circumspect, you're not moving with anger. All right. So I just wanted to go into that. The first precept I had was James chapter 1 and verse 19. Because in fighting sports and stuff like that, if you fighting with anger and you super tense, again, it's easier to get knocked out. You see, you still want to be cautious, but at the same time, you want to be mindful of your emotions and stuff. You got to use your brain. All right. Which that's the scriptures get into that. This is James chapter 1 and verse 19. It says, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. All right. So the point that I want to get out of this was not being quick to be wrathful. You see, because wise men have rule and control over their spirit, and being quick-tempered is not showing control. All right, if you don't have control, if you're not controlling the pace of the fight, so that means somebody else is controlling you. All right, and putting this in applying it literally. You see, if somebody else is controlling you, then you don't have no control of yourself. Therefore, you can be tempted, or you can fall into temptation, and ultimately take that charagma. You see. My next precept was Mashoyim, also Proverbs. Chapter 19 and verse 19, it says, A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if thou deliver him, yet thou must do it again. All right, and those men of quick tempers will suffer punishment because they would have to, like, somebody with a quick temper is going to have to, is going to ultimately be destroyed. All right, because with the example with the charagma, and then if they got a quick temper, you gonna have to rescue them again. Let me get this in another version, because they a man of passion, so to speak. It says hot-tempered people must pay the penalty. If you rescue them once, you have to do it again, because they being led by their emotions, man. And we see what being led by your emotions get you. You know, we see that with Jake women in this society, those without the truth. You know, they all bugged out. They can't tell their left foot from their right foot. You know, they don't have any direction about themselves. All right. And if you don't have any direction, you know, you can fall for anything. All right. This is Mashalim chapter 25 and verse 28. It says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. All right. And just going into Proverbs 19 and 19. That's why you would have to rescue that person again, because their spirit is defenseless. All right. So basically they're susceptible to anything. All right. So when Esau comes with his wiles and traps and deceptions and stuff like that, being that person is driven off of emotion, they like, well, fuck it. You know, I feel like this right now, so let me go do this. You know, they wouldn't be moving with logic. All right. It's Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. All right. And again, going back to, like, if you was boxing, or if you was like an MMA fighter, or what have you, in the you know, in the fighting world, you know, if you in there with like with emotions and stuff like that, it's more so, especially if you're in there with a boxer, they can basically treat you at like you got the bull with the matador and the red cape. You see, they basically getting you to where they want you to go. You see, but I'm gonna read this again. It says, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. All right. And a lot of times when you see a boxer, you know, you got the boxer controlling the pace of the fight. The one that's chasing him, the one that is on a losing end, he's the one that's looking foolish, because he's not landing anything. You see, he's not truly winning the fight. And applying this to life, you know, if you're just looking foolish, you know, that doesn't show a sense of direction, and you just fighting aimlessly. You see, in this spiritual battle, just doing anything, you know, that's the ways of America, Babylon the Great. And we see that in Proverbs 7 and various different parts of the scriptures that will get you on a losing end. All right. This is Proverbs 29 and 22. It says, an angry man. All right, and then just going into that again, if you was fighting angry, you see, being emotionally driven, then you're gonna tire yourself out. All right, and the scriptures say that this race is not given to the swift. All right, because it's about enduring. All right, that fighting with emotion does not work scripturally, or it don't work in fighting, you know. I'm gonna read it again. It says, I ain't going to, but this is Proverbs 29 and 22. It says, an angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. All right, so somebody that's full of wrath is going to be like, you know, to mention again, that bull with the matador. All right, so they gonna run themselves right into destruction. After that red cape is pulled away, they gonna run themselves right into a missile. All right, and then it says, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. So those that are emotionally driven, the one that's always angry, you know, in this society they say you gotta be a fucking loose cannon, you gotta be loose screws. You know, they promote that demonic vibration. All right. But contrary to popular belief of the world, that's off. They say that a true man, or you're gonna have emotion, and you can beat everybody ass out here, but no, that's off. That's not wise. All right. Because we got it right here. This is a furious man aboundeth in transgression. You see, and those that are furious, and they're going to abound in transgression. And those that abound in transgression, they're going to get judged. All right. It's Mashalim chapter 16 and verse 32. It says, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. All right, so those that slow to anger is better than the mighty, because they dwelling with wisdom. The Lord say that what's like the scriptures say that the Lord loveth those that dwell with wisdom. All right, I'm gonna read it again. He that slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Because the one that slow to anger ain't gonna tire out. He's gonna endure. All right, and he that ruleth the city, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. All right, and again, those that can endure, those that are slow to anger, they're not going to be driven by what they feeling at that moment. So through the spirit, the elect isn't going to take that charagma, all right, because they can rule their spirit. All right, but those that don't come up out of that, being furious, angry, being a demon, a real live demon out here, they're going to get destroyed. It says Quahalath, also Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 9. It says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. All right. And those that are quick to be angry, you see, that shows carnality. All right, dealing with this flesh. All right, and doing so is going to put you at enmity with the Lord. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. All right, a fool is going to have an outburst. He's going to let you know. He's going to say it out of his mouth. He's going to speak. A fool's going to speak what's on their mind. All right, so if a fool is angry, everybody's gonna know. You see, but a wise man is gonna use wisdom. All right. I think there's another precept going into this as well. Yeah, Proverbs 29:11. It says, a fool uttereth all his mind, and that's how you would know that that fool was angry. It said a fool's wrath is presently known. That's because he gonna tell it. But a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. Let me get this in another version. It says, fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. And a wise man is going to use wisdom. And if it was something that needed to be said, he would say it tactfully. When you go into the word tactfully, it basically means with wisdom. All right. As with the wise man, it ain't just gonna be like he just telling it all. A wise man is gonna say it in season. If it's not in season to say something, that wise man isn't going to open his mouth. All right, but this is Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 3. It says, it is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. All right, and this world would say, to reiterate, you gotta deal with that nigga now, so, shit like that, or that couldn't be me, this world is about strife, contention, and starting shit. All right, I got a precept that's going into this. This is Sirach. (28) in verse 8, it says, abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. Because those that that's furious, they're gonna what it says right here, it says, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife. So those that's quick to be angry, they gonna start stuff. All right, and when you go to abstain in strife, I didn't get it, but strife. It says strife, controversy, dispute, strife, quarrel, dispute, controversy, case at law. It says adversary, pleading, contend, multitude. So basically, it's basically bickering. All right. But when you go into the common definition on Google, it'll say strife is a heated disagreement about fundamental issues. You see, so something small, like worldly conversation, arguing about something like that, that's strife. But I'm gonna run it back. This is Proverbs 20:3. It says, it is an honor for a man to cease from strife. So being the bigger person, that's an honor. That's an honorable thing, you see, because this world, it'll tell you now, like, either be quick to fight them or, something like that, which doing that is going to lead to, eventually death, man. That's a death style. It says, but every fool will be meddling. So every fool is going to get into a quarrel because, again, that furious man is going to be starting stuff. Just like this said, it says, abstain from strife and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife. All right, so being soon angry is going to start things because you being led with emotion. The Psalm 103. Psalm 103 and verse 8. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. All right, so the Lord is slow to anger. So, we should be in that same spirit, being slow to anger. All right, it's in different. We got various accounts of it. Just going into this video. The Lord is slow to anger, and that's using wisdom. This is Sirach chapter 10. In verse 18 it says, pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of women. So pride or anger wasn't made for us. All right, the Lord, we just got it in Tehillim Psalms chapter 103 and verse 8. The Lord isn't even soon angry. So why should we be quickly angry? All right, and just going into this video, brought out countless different examples of being soon angry. But let's see how we can stop being slow to anger, or how we can stop being fast to anger. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 11. It says, the discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is glory to pass over a transgression. All right, we just saw that in Proverbs 20 and 3. It is an honor for a man to cease from strife. All right, so it's honorable to let me get that back. So it's an honorable thing to pass over transgression, and it's an honorable thing to cease from strife. All right, because this world, again, it'll say, hey, like, if you in a debate, you got to finish it, or if somebody transgresses against you, you got to finish it. But no, that's off. All right. So it says the discretion of the discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is glory to pass over transgression. All right. Let's get this in another version. It says, sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongs. It says, NIV, a person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. All right, and where do we get the wisdom from? The scriptures. So wisdom is what defers the anger. Wisdom is what delays the anger. Let's get this word deferreth. It says to long, prolong, make long, grow long, continue long, to tarry. All right, because we shouldn't be just a demon. You see, being quick to anger. Being like those of the world. So wisdom is what's going to keep us from being quick to anger. I got another precept. Salak. It was a Sirach. We go Sirach chapter 34 and verse 9. Because again, wisdom is what defers anger. This is Sirach 34 and 9. A man that hath traveled knoweth many things. Because he's been in those situations. And he that hath much experience would declare wisdom. So you get wisdom. You can get wisdom through experiences. All right. So case in point, for example, just through experience firsthand, when you first come into the truth, a lot of times you try to tell everybody, you try to tell your family, your friends, you see, but the Lord took us through that experience because we get the wisdom to know that everybody isn't going to accept the truth, you see, so we know how to deal with those in the world, you see, because some people isn't going to get the truth, you see. Another example was, when I was camping with bros in Orlando, and then here in Charlotte, and both examples, both brothers, a scoffer walked up and, was talking for a little bit, and basically bros is like, eventually it was like, have a nice day, you see, because that's using wisdom. All right, because in the scriptures it says that I'm gonna get it. It's Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 7. It says, wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. You see, so fools is not going to be able to obtain this knowledge. You see, so the best thing to do there is to, like the brothers did, have a nice day. All right. Ain't no, when you first come to the truth, you're like, well, dang, like, they're not getting it. Why they can't get it? You breaking it down through the spirit, showing them the evidence, all the history, and Jake still wouldn't get it, you see, but it wasn't meant for everybody, you see, but we go through those experiences so that we are slow to anger, and it builds that patience, because this thing is about patience, that necessary suffering. And patience ties into being slow to anger. And we get that patience from the experiences as well as using the wisdom. You see, it all ties together. This is Mashayim chapter 14 and verse 16. It says, a wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. It says, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. All right, but I want to get verse 16. It says, a wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. All right, so a wise man, when you go into this word fear, it says fearing, reverent, afraid, fearing morally. All right, and a wise man, go back to that verse, says a wise man feareth. A wise man is gonna go, that morality is gonna kick in, and he gonna use that he gonna use the morals. All right, it says, and departed from evil. It was another precept. I think it was So give me a second. It was Proverbs 29 and 22. Proverbs 29 and 22 it says, a furious man aboundeth in transgression. You see, so he's in evil. But going back to Proverbs 14 and 16, it says, a wise man feareth, he starts using his morality and departed from evil. You see, because the furious man abounds in transgression, so he has nothing but evil coming to him, bad times. It says the fool rageth. You see, going back to being that loose cannon, that loose screw, that demon, and is confident. You see, in the world, they do that recklessly. They don't even care. You know, it says the wise are cautious and avoid danger. Fools plunge ahead with reckless confidence. You see, the wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed yet feels secure. You see, and what the scriptures say. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. All right, and I'm applying this to this situation because those that don't repent and they in that hot-headedness and they secure and confident and being wrathful and furious, you see, they're going to get this. It says, it's 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So those that don't repent from being wrathful, being furious, being soon angry, you see, they're going to get that sudden destruction. All right, because that they are safe and secure. You see, they feel safe in that rage, you know, and doing that, they're gonna get that sudden destruction. You see, and that same person is going to be led by their emotions. You see, but that you know, that's just wanted to go into that. You know, Lord's widow Zedephon, call her like Mla Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Kakadash. Hey, double honor to the elders and the apostle Great Millstone that told me the truth and rule well. And much respect to you brothers out there pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.